For your eyeshadow application, you need a makeup brush to apply your eyeshadow application. You need a blending brush and you need a flathead brush. Aside the two brushes you need, which is one for packing on the eyeshadow on your lid and the other for blending the eyeshadow, you also need an extra brush that is clean. You are not using that to pick up any product, but you are using it to blend out what you apply on your lid. So in total, you need 3 brushes. First off, you want to do is, before you apply any eyeshadow, no matter how promising the pigment of the eyeshadow is, you want to go ahead and use an eyeshadow primer. An eyeshadow primer not only make your eyeshadow pop, it also make it last long because it's creating a barrier between your lid and the eyeshadow. Now we have a lot of eyeshadow primers to use. You can use a concealer, you can use an eyeshadow primer. There are some eyeshadow primers that barely show up on your skin. They are very liquidy, but they're a little bit bright. They are bright enough to show up what you are going to be applying, and they really make your eyeshadow last really long. And we have concealer. So when you're using a concealer, I would advise you use a concealer that is not so runny. Use a concealer that self-sets itself. That way, you know, it doesn't get runny all over your skin. An example of a concealer that self-sets itself is this Maybelline concealer. This concealer, once you apply it and give it a little bit of time, it starts getting dry. Not completely dry, but it doesn't have that running effect. Here's another example of a concealer that self-sets itself, and this is Maybelline Master Conceal. This concealer is my holy grail. Like, I use this concealer for a very long time. It's so amazing. And another one that I'm loving lately is Zikel Cosmetics concealer for now. So these are the concealers you want to use if you're not going to be using a typical eyeshadow primer. Another tip I'm going to be giving you is, if you're going to be using a concealer as your eyeshadow primer, I would advise you use a concealer that is really bright, something that is close to white. If your concealer is really bright and close to white, it allows your eyeshadow to really pop more. It makes the color really show well and very vibrant, as opposed to if you are using a concealer that comes in this color, like a skin tone concealer. These concealers are good for if you're going for maybe a natural look. Then you can go ahead and use like a skin tone concealer. This will further add pigment to the powder you're going to be using on your lid. But if you're looking at using an eyeshadow that is so bright, like the blues, the green, the lemon, I would advise you go with a concealer that is really bright. This will really show up a lot more on your lid. So guys,